All right, let's talk about it. Newborn sleep. If you're in the thick of it, you know it can feel less like sleep and more like, well, a beautiful, distant memory. Today, we're going to break it all down and give you some real, practical tools to help everyone in the house get a little more rest.
And yeah, I really want you to hear this. It's not just you. That bone-deep exhaustion, it's a universal part of the new parent experience. It is so real, and you are definitely not alone.
Now here's the thing that drives parents crazy. Your brand new baby is sleeping a ton. We're talking up to 17, maybe even 20 hours in a 24-hour period. So with all that sleeping going on, it brings us to the big million-dollar question.
Right? I mean, if they're sleeping that much, why do you feel like you haven't slept in a week? Well, I promise, you're not doing anything wrong. The answer has everything to do with how they sleep, not how much. So, let's get into it.
Okay, so to really get a handle on this, we have to first understand the massive, massive change your baby has just gone through. Honestly, this is the key to everything.
Just imagine the culture shock for a second. For 9 whole months, your baby's entire existence was in this dark, warm, snug place. It was loud, like 24/7 loud, and they were constantly being rocked and jiggled around. And then suddenly, they're out here in our world, which is incredibly bright, wide open, and often really still and quiet. It's a huge sensory adjustment for such a tiny human.
And on top of that, you've got biology at play. A newborn literally does not have an internal clock yet. Day, night, it's all the same to them. Their stomachs are teensy, so they have to wake up every couple of hours to eat. And here's a big one. Most of their sleep is active sleep, which is why you see them twitching, grunting, and startling themselves awake all the time.
So now that we get why it's all so chaotic, let's talk about what we can actually do about it. And the good news is, you're not just the victim of circumstance here. You can actually start to gently guide your baby and help them figure out the difference between day and night.
So the strategy is pretty simple. We're going to use really clear environmental cues. During the day, think bright and lively. Open the blinds, let the normal household noise happen, talk to them. But at night, it is all business. We keep the lights super dim, we use quiet voices, and we keep interaction to a minimum. A really powerful trick is the anchor feed. Try to start each day with a feeding around the same time. It's like setting the starting point for their internal clock.
Okay, now let's talk about the room, the actual space where your baby sleeps. Creating a great sleep environment is really about 2 things, safety and comfort. And I want to be super clear, safety always comes first.
Okay, I need you to lean in and listen to this, because this is the single most important thing we will talk about today. It is the ABCs of safe sleep. Your baby needs to be alone, on their back, in a crib, bassinet, or other approved flat sleep space. That means a firm, flat surface with absolutely nothing else in it. No loose blankets, no pillows, no bumpers, no stuffed animals. Nothing. This is proven to dramatically reduce the risk of SIDS, and it is completely non-negotiable. So once you've got that safety foundation locked in, then you can focus on comfort. And the best way to do that? You guessed it, we're going to try to recreate the womb. That means making the room super dark, like cave dark. It means consistent white noise to block out other sounds. You want a cool, comfortable temperature, and then you layer them in a swaddle for that snug feeling. Honestly, the swaddle is your best friend in these early months. That snug wrap keeps their startle reflex, you know, that thing where their arms fly out and wake them up. It keeps that from happening. It makes them feel safe and secure, just like they were back in the womb. But remember, safety first. As soon as they show any signs of trying to roll over, it's time to stop swaddling.
All right, this is where it gets fun. In this section, you're going to become a baby sleep detective. Learning to read your baby's unique signals is the absolute key to getting ahead of those overtired meltdowns.
Okay, your first clue is something called a wake window. It's just a fancy term for how long your baby can handle being awake between naps. And for a newborn, this is shockingly short. We're talking like 45 to 90 minutes max. Knowing this is a game changer because it helps you get them down for a nap before they get overtired and frantic. So during that short wake window, you'll start to see sleepy cues. And your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to spot the early ones on the left. You know, the first yawn, that little 1,000-yard stare into space, or when they start looking away from you. That's your signal to start winding things down right away. If you're seeing the stuff on the right, the fussing, the crying, the jerky arms, you've missed the window and your job just got a lot harder.
Now, here's a phrase you're going to hear a lot. drowsy but awake. This is the goal. After those first couple of chaotic weeks, you want to try to put your baby down when they're sleepy and calm, but not totally out cold. This tiny little pause gives them a chance to practice the skill of falling asleep on their own, which is a superpower later on.
So what happens when your baby is just fighting sleep and you can't get them to that drowsy but awake state? Well, that's when you bring in the big guns, the 5 S's. These are basically a cheat code designed to imitate the womb and flip on your baby's built-in calming switch. So let's run through them really quick. First, a snug swaddle. Then you hold them in the side or stomach position, and this is super important. This is only for calming them in your arms, never, ever for sleep. Next, you make a loud shushing sound right near their ear. Add a gentle rhythmic swinging motion. And finally, offer something to suck on, like a pacifier. The real magic happens when you start layering these together.
Okay, before we wrap up, I want to shift the focus for just a minute. Because in all this talk about baby sleep, your well-being is every bit as important.
Please remember this. You're aiming for progress, not perfection. Every baby is on their own timeline. Let people help you, your partner, your family, your friends. Focus on giving your baby nice, full feeds during the day. And more than anything, know this in your heart. This phase, as intense and exhausting as it is temporary. It really truly does get better.
So I want to leave you with this question. Don't feel like you have to do all of these things at once. Just think about it. What is one small, manageable thing you could try tonight? Maybe it's just turning on the white noise. Maybe it's just watching for that very first yawn. One tiny step is all you need to start moving in the right direction. You are doing a great job. You've got this.